Maybe that's my young ignorance, but it didn't take me long at all.
You probably like, whatever.
Listen, I'm very aware of who MC Lyte is, but I'm like, in comparison to Talib, I'm like, it's no comparison. It's no comparison. Like, you know, and just bar for bar, song for song, album for album, is like, honestly, who are you really going to sit and listen to? Okay.
Right.
Talib.
St. Frederick, man. Y'all up, man. Frederick, still with us, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. I'm doing laundry.
So good.
No, I went with Talib. You know, yeah, there's no questions asked. That was an easy one for me. I didn't struggle with that at all.
Your wife chose MC Lyte. I'm just letting you know that.
Shout out to Katie.
Shout out to Katie.
Yeah, I mean, a side note about Talib. Like, do any of y'all follow him on Twitter?
I do. Oh man, you about to say what I was thinking. Go ahead.
So, like, one thing I noticed, I had to unfollow him first of all
Crazy
because
shit on there.
he just like he'll tweet like 100 times a day almost, and it's usually in response to like trolls. So like he's like a troll hunter, like unbelievable. Like following people down on Twitter like that are racist and shit. And I mean, I get it, but it looks tiring. Like he must be exhausted from dealing with all these trolls.
Look, I'm about to follow him right now.
It's crazy. Yo, Sing, on that note, his Twitter shit is ridiculous, man. Like, I mean, yo, no lie. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and I was about to text you. I was like, yo, do y'all think that he's a racist? Like, because it's like he gets a lot of, like, he responds to a lot of racial shit.
Well, he says the racist rapper career killer.
Whoa,
right.
Oh my God, he changed it up. The racist rapper career killer.
But I think he's probably doing that to the troll on trolls. I think he can be very blunt, and I think it goes the same line when you think about Cube and Chuck D when they talk about race stuff or whatever. But if we're talking about
with age,
I think you can be a bigot, but him as a black man in America, you can't be a racist though, just because he doesn't have the power to say you can't do this or do that because we don't have that power. Now, somebody can say he has bigoted responses or whatever, but I can't put him saying that you're a racist.
Yeah, he's going in on his Twitter. I'm gonna have fun watching this one.
Yeah, he's crazy on Twitter. So yeah, Sing, I'm gonna guess you can win Kweli on that one.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I did. I went Talib, of course. I mean, for all the reasons we're talking about. But on that note, on that question, like I don't think Talib Kweli is a racist, but I do think he's pro-black. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, and I do think that he's probably spending too much time on this shit. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Talib, what are you doing?
I agree.
I mean, he could probably make like 5 albums in the time that he's spending fucking hunting trolls on Twitter. Oh, much.
As a fan, it's like I don't like to see it, man.
But that's all that aside, and just the music. I mean, he's incredible. Talib's amazing.
Yeah,
so
within the past hour,
MC Lyte, and the polls on Twitter and Facebook reflect that. It looks like he'll be moving on to round 2.
Yeah, within the past hour, he just replied to like 20 trolls, and it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to come back and visit this later in the day.
Twitter is crazy, man. All right, so we'll go on to the right side. We're on the Midnight Marauder region. We got my man Common Sense from the Chi-Town going up against E40 from the Bay. Yeah. Sprinkle me.
Man who said pop my collar in 1993.
Look, let me spark it off because I've always had this. I've never liked E40.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Bay, and I'll let it come out there and hopefully I won't get shot and robbed or whatever. But I never liked E40. He just always seemed like super goofy to me. Just, oh my God. Oh, I can't stand E40.
Well, here's the thing about E40 though. Like, I can't name an album. I did download one of his albums back in the mid-2000s. But
You know about
I think lyrically he had some bars out, but I think like I said, some of the goofiness and some of his candor, I think he was ahead of his time on certain things. You know what I mean? But here's a guy who's able to reinvent himself, doing crunk music, doing everything else, and still be a major.
Dread, so shake 'em. I ain't got none, but I'm planning on growing some.
Hey, but he got those spins though. You know what I mean? So, and you were talking about ultimate hustler. You talking about somebody selling albums from his trunk. You know what I mean? He's a survivalist. You know, there's no doubt about it. With all that said and done though, but he didn't win my bracket. But
What was that song?
I got
called?
Common coming out of this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I definitely.
Common made Q retired for a couple years, so
Yeah.
I had to do a Common.
Frederick, you got Common on this one, or you got?
Yeah. And I actually got to sign off.
Okay.
Got to get this stuff done, but I appreciate you guys having me on.
No, man.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to
Appreciate you.
listening to the rest of the night.
You too,
And,
good brother.
I'll be in touch.
Salute, bro. Peace.
All right, later, fellas.
All right, brother. Peace.
So yeah, we had E40 representing the Bay. Saying, who do you have personally on this one?
Well, let me just say, like, you know, E40, you know, when we try and look at full body of work and we consider a lot of different things, like impact on hip-hop culture, like, E40 is kind of like, you know, some would argue the king of Bay Area hip-hop, you know what I mean? He's like the godfather of Bay Area hip-hop and shit, so I felt he's very rightfully so in the field of 64 here. He should be on this bracket. He did get a tough matchup, I think, here. I mean, for me personally, Common's second album, Resurrection, is like one of my top 5 albums ever made. I absolutely love that record. One Day It All Makes Sense, you know, amazing. You know, you can run through his catalog, you know, and
That might be my favorite album.
to me,
One Day, all makes sense.
this was an easy choice for me. It was Common all the way.
Word up. All right.
I think we gotta forget, E40 was a trendsetter on a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to slang, terminology. You know, like, especially like I said, like E40 as far as slang terminology, like I said, well, I was saying earlier, he was saying Pop My Collar in 93.
Right.
We're saying Pop My Collar in 2000, thinking like, yo, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
a lot of the slang terminology that we
360.
were using, like in late 90s, early 2000s, like he was already saying. So I think on a pop culture level, I don't think a lot of people realize how much his influence is on an indirect level. You know what I mean? You could say he might never had a class or anything, but the one line and stuff. Like, for Shizzle My Nizzle, that was E40. That wasn't Snoop. Snoop made it famous.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that was 40 Water. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Shout out to E40. I got Common on this one though. He got a
Right. Also on this matchup, also it's pretty close online, like on the polls, on the voting. So, you know, my prediction is Common will move on to round 2. I think it looks that way, unless there's like a groundswell of support for E40 at the last minute. He comes with like a fourth quarter comeback, deep 3 at Oracle Arena. But you know, it looks like Common's probably going to move on.
Yeah.
All right, man. So on that note, creeping on the come up,
Yeah, this was a tough matchup here.
number 6 seed, my man Slick Rick, MC Ricky D versus AZ the Visualizer at number 11.
Sosa.
This was a good one, man.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
I had to go. Personally, AZ is one of my favorite rappers, and I had to sit back and think, okay, if I'm going for albums, I'm going with AZ. If I'm going for just classic singles, you know, hip hop jams in the club,
Right.
cookouts,
Right.
you know,
Go with Slick.
park jams.
Right.
Slick Rick is undeniable, and you know it's interesting if you look at AZ. Like I studied AZ my entire life, and he quotes a lot of Slick Rick stuff. So it's kind of like if you hit Slick Rick is in AZ's makeup, his in his MC makeup.
Yeah,
I would say if you're creating AZ, you probably got Slick Rick, and you got a little bit of Rakim, and you got a little bit of Coogee Rap.
Yeah.
Right.
Them 3 make AZ.
Yeah.
So I had to go with Slick Rick on this one. You know, I don't know how far Slick can get out of this, but
Well, your bracket says otherwise.
well,
That's my bracket.
Elijah's bracket said AZ. This is
Oh, that's Elijah's bracket.
Yeah, that's me.
Come on, say it. Like you said that, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I definitely went with AZ. After I heard Do or Die, my best friend, His one of my best friends. He put me on Do or Die like maybe like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, yo, how did I miss this for you know however many years, you know? So I'm in just lyrically like AZ can rap, like he can really rap, and he's conscious, and he's very aware of what's going on. Woo! Remix.
I definitely went with So Solid on this one. I think he's just one of those dudes, and like, we personally met him on the book signing. We came out with autobiography. He's a real humble brother, you know what I mean? Like, there's some dudes you might meet, whatever, and they kind of brush you off, but like, he made sure he had time, like, granted it was a brief conversation, but he made sure that, that he wasn't give you that respect. And I remember we were talking about, you gonna sing Leave Black Thought, and he was almost like, at all, like, yo, like, Black Thought's that dude's, like, before you even put me in that same sentence with Black Thought. Mm-hmm. But, AZ is one of those guys, the same how with the big boy, like, almost like he kind of got overshadowed.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, Nas and everything else. And he admitted that he said if he went to Def Jam, his career might have been different. You know what I mean? But he decided, go elsewhere. And he said to this day, he felt like, he was kind of blackballed in the industry. But, I mean, his body of work and his consistency and, and I love Slick, you know what I mean? We're talking one of the best storyteller rappers of all time, right. But I had to give it to Sosa on this one.
I mean, on skill alone, AZ can get out of this bracket on skill alone. Sing, who you got for this matchup, bro?
I have Slick Rick. He's an OG. He's a pioneer. A common question I got from people was like, is this, a lot of people just thought like, is this going to be just these two MCs if they were to battle each other? That right. When people look at the bracket and they don't get the criteria and shit first, they're just like, oh, if these two battled, who would win? And in that case, like, I'd probably go with AZ. But, when we're looking at the full body of work, I have to go with Slick Rick the Ruler. And I'm glad that we're getting, like, some of the, old school MCs that are going to move on, and it'll be a nice mix, I think, when we get to, like, round two.
Exactly.
So it's going to get interesting.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. All right, so that wraps up the 6 and 11s. We're going to go down to the 7 and 10s. This is where it gets real tricky.
The best brackets.
Yeah, 7-10s are very good matchups. So we got Big L from Harlem, and we got Del, the funky Homo sapien from the High Road crew, representing Oakland. I chose Big L. Elijah has Big L on his bracket. I'll just say this. I've said this already on podcasts before. If I got a video game and I can choose like a rapper, like I'm going with Big L, and no one is going to be able to beat me. Just because like this man is like a lyrical assassin. Like him and Black Thought, if I had just them two in a video game versus rappers, I don't know who could beat me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I don't know how far he's gonna go because of he was slaying his early short career. Mm-hmm. But we gave him a 7 seed, and I think that was pretty high. I think that's appropriate. He has the skill of a 1 seed, but he had the career of a 16 seed. Yeah. So I think he's right in the middle as a 7. So I go Big L over Del. It's close though.
Yeah, and I love Del. I mean, when you just look at his body work, Cousin of Cube has, he did some work as far as some of the writing, like the Lynch Mob and everything else. I mean, he's definitely a legend in his own respect. But I mean, when I look at Big L, this is he had a short career. Only a few albums, but like he made the most of it. Definitely made most of it. And, I couldn't deny L in this case here.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely give it to L. The first time I heard L, I was like maybe like 16, 17. So this was about like a couple years ago. About 10 years ago. About 10, 11 years ago. And I heard the freestyle with him and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
And I'm listening to Hov, like I know Hov, but I'm like, yo, who is this kid? I'm like, yo, he's killing Hov. And I'm like, L, I'm like, since then I was like, I had a whole different respect for Big L. You know.
Pussy like Keith Sweat.
Yeah,
This Big
that's it.
L, slow hell no. Bitches get fucked on a roof when I ain't got no hotel dough. I'm known for yoking japs and beating them with smoking gats, leaving token blacks with broken backs and open caps. So with that bullshit, step to the rear, son. The